Get up in the morning and have the diamond in your brain. Drive without knowing you're driving. Coming and having the diamond in your brain. The whole time, the diamond in your brain. It's in front of you, right? The whole time. It's in front of your eyes, behind your eyes, in your heart, in your stomach, all over the place. It conquers you, hypnotizes you. You are a slave. It is a transparent mirror. The light streams through it. It's transparent, like water. It's water.
At first glance, it may seem strange to compare the sea with diamonds. The sea, after all, is a world of movement and weightlessness, while diamonds seem to have been frozen in their current state for 1 billion years. But looked at from a different angle, diamonds are comparable to water. Their physical properties make them the only material on Earth which is pure and transparent enough that once cut, a near-perfect play of light can reflect off them.
The first time I saw a stone I was totally disappointed because I thought that a rough stone would be sparkling and shining, and it was not. Everything, all the magic was kept inside the stone.
If you see the diamond, you understand that you're looking at one of God's masterpieces. These diamonds, if you look at them now, you'll never will forget them, and whenever you'll see them somewhere in the world, you'll recognize them.
Suddenly the word music came into my brain, and I said, for God's sake, wouldn't it be possible for diamonds to express themselves with music?
My dad used to take me on innocent walks in the factory, leaving me alone to discover and to ask questions. So my love for the diamond industry is something that came with natural curiosity, basically.
It's not a question of flash for cash. It's not because you want to show how successful you are or, how much your husband loves you, and that's the reason you have such a big stone. But the whole idea is that you could have a stone that was very small and very insignificant in terms of size, because a lot of things are measured in terms of size, and where diamonds are concerned, size doesn't matter.
Similarly to those for whom they are destined, the diamond crystal is a whole universe of shapes, beauties, and colors made by inclusions that lie at its core. And just as the infinite oceans have their own rules, the microscopic diamond sets its own rules for all those who try to tame it. The smallest mistake can be fatal and can cause the crystal to burst.
I have started the knowledge in diamonds when I was a tiny small child, because as a matter of fact, I'm the 6th generation of the family in this trade. So as I'm actually 60 years old, this was some 55 years ago when I was following the words and the discussions that my father had while he was cutting diamonds. And usually at that time, the workers would come in the evening at home, they would sit around the table, sip a tea, eat some chocolate or cookies, and discuss the stones for the next day. And I was there, sitting one day on the lap of one, the other day on the lap of the other, and my ears were connected to what they were talking about. So the conversation about diamonds was for me a normal thing, like a shoemaker that has a child and sees his father working from the beginning of his life. And I will never forget the day that I polished the first facet. Because when I polished the first facet, I looked with the loupe, right? All what I did, I took the tool in my hand and I looked. And when I looked, I've seen a window, a shining window, a small little facet. And looking through it into the diamond, I was hypnotized.
I started collecting colored diamonds by sheer incident. I was working for a South African company, and at a certain date, the boss from South Africa called me and said, Eddie, I'm going to send you an accumulation of 3 generations of unsellable diamonds. I absolutely didn't understand what the man meant with unsellable diamonds. Well, of course, when the goods arrived, the explanation was clear. The man sent me a cigar box with natural fancy colored diamonds. And when I opened the lid of this cigar box, I saw individual items which were laughing at me, smiling at me, each in their own color. It was looking at something that didn't exist. This was a Fata Morgana. It couldn't be.
The man asked the diamond, what would you like to be? And the diamond says, I want to be the most beautiful. Okay? And for each one of them is the same conversation. It means you can start working with the diamond, you look at it, you turn it around, you talk to it. You don't talk, you talk with your spirit, right? You get an answer. You decide or you don't decide, because perhaps you didn't get the answer. You put it aside, you take the next one. When you take the next one, you have the same problem.
So I went home that evening. I didn't go home, actually. I flew home because I was on a cloud. And I grabbed my wife in the kitchen and I told her, darling, please, I'm going to tell you what happened today. Close your both eyes and dream of the most fantastic diamond you've ever seen, the one that you really would like to possess. And if you have that picture, whatever it may be, an emerald cut or a brilliant cut, block that picture. And now dream of the most sensational precious stone you would like to own. May it be a sapphire, a moonstone, a lapis lazuli, doesn't matter. Just dream of it. You have that picture? Hold it. Now mix the both together and have a look at what is the most unique colored diamond in the world.
I see a diamond in terms of lighting up someone else's life. I actually believe that when someone wears a diamond, it makes a world of difference. It's not simply worn to show that you've been successful. I actually believe that it lights up the wearer's life. When a woman dresses herself, it's very important that she should be the jewelry that she's wearing should be aligned with her personality. So you can't have someone who's wearing huge earrings and then a huge necklace and a huge ring, because what happens is you honestly kill the effect. So what you do is either you take lots of small interesting pieces and then you wear them together, or you take one big piece and for the rest you just leave it very plain.
It's taken nature millions of years to create lemon sharks, manta rays, and other creatures that we watch entranced. So perfectly are they adapted to their ethereal environment. But things are a bit different for the mineral world, and for the diamond in particular. Its magic will only be truly revealed when it will have completed its millenary odyssey between the expert hands of master cutters, a phase that always starts with a meticulous observation.
This is a diamond that is quite a big diamond. In the rough, it weighs 4 carat 63. It's a very beautiful crystal. Not all diamonds look like that. But as a matter of fact, if the stone would look like that, it will not refract and disperse the light. It must be cut and polished. Let's say I will cut it. I will take the diamond and I will first of all take my loupe and look at it. Right? I will isolate myself with the diamond. I'll isolate myself and I will look at everything at the same time. The shape, the color, the clarity. And in my brain, I will have all sorts of opportunities. I could say, should I make it round? Or should I make it an emerald cut? I know already that I should definitely split the diamond in two. I will sew it. a bigger diamond and a smaller diamond, because that will be the best return. Otherwise, I will lose too much weight.
Well, sewing is a long process. It's one of the longest processes in diamond manufacturing. It's a crucial process because first of all, you have to follow the line as well as you can. It's a fraction of a millimeter can sometimes determine success or failure. A diamond can also explode on the sewing, on the saw, so it can. That's why sometimes we insure a diamond before sewing it.
I'm going to draw it. The first line of what I would imagine to do with this diamond. And I will try to find the largest and the best diamond out of this stone. I will draw the diamond on another axis. Okay? And I can see a third way. And this third way could perhaps be the best.
After Gabi Tolkovsky's observation, once the sawing line had been correctly drawn, the rough stone was entrusted to a sawer, who cautiously proceeded to cut the stone as accurately as possible. It is important to understand that the most determining element for the future of this rough stone is this initial observation. Indeed, everything depends on the measuring and on the choice of the sawing axis. This is why we have decided to regularly recall this preliminary observation step during the whole production cycle.
That was quite a story, actually. It was not an easy stone to manufacture until we got that line on the diamond.
Now I come further. I will start measuring the diamond. I will measure it according to a Mohs gauge, which is a measure that can tell me plus minus what the size of the diamond will be when it will be polished. I will probably choose on that diamond the widest one, because then I will have the largest diamond. But I could make out of this diamond a round one, as I could make an emerald cut.
The diamond has been sawed into two parts, a main part and a second part. Then the points have been taken off with the preliminary bruting.
It took over 10 hours to finally split the diamond in two. Each piece then followed a different path. We have chosen to follow the largest piece on its journey to becoming a brilliant, the points of which are now being removed on the polishing wheel.
The moment you touch it, you cannot go backwards. Then you touched it. The moment you start cutting, or sewing, or lasering, or bruting, whatever you do, you cannot go back.
The bruting process is the process where we make a diamond round, basically, by rubbing one diamond against another diamond.
After the points have been removed, the bruting process thus begins, which aims to make the diamond perfectly round by shaping what is referred to as the girdle, the circular part of the future brilliant. Manually at first, the bruter has begun the operation, roughly rounding the stone by rubbing it against another diamond. Indeed, the only material hard enough to wear down a diamond is a diamond. It is only thereafter that the machine was used to complete the work by shaping the final girdle.
We're going to polish it in two steps. First, we'll polish it in cross with the basic facets, and then we'll polish it in brillandeersel, which is the last facets that will make the diamond shine.
Once the girdle had been completed, the stone was returned to the polishing wheel, where the brillandiers were finally able to place, one by one, the 57 facets. Positioned according to very precise angles and proportions, these facets gave the brilliant the shine, fire,